And I'm back. Hey, everybody, it's Todd Cohen, the sales culture architect, back from, a few weeks vacation enjoying Alaska, actually. We went on a cruise, and it was pretty awesome. Good points, bad points, things I would do again, things I wouldn't do again. I'm not an expert on cruises. There's plenty of that on YouTube, so go listen to them. In any event, Alaska is one hell of a beautiful state. And if you ever have a chance to go, if you haven't already been, man, I tell you what, I can't say enough good about it. It is a place very different than what I live on the East Coast, that's for sure. And in all of my travels, I'm not sure I've seen too many places like this. I've spoken in Colorado many times. That kind of reminds me of it a little bit. Wyoming, maybe Montana a little bit. And it's just an amazing place. So listen, I want to jump back into something that I've been sharing with you prior to my going on vacation, and that is, so you want to be a paid professional speaker. And I started this series because I get so angry when first of all, I get deluged all the time by people offering me ways to build my speaking business and book more gigs and offers of coaching and teaching me how to do this. And while I appreciate it and everybody's out there, trying to make a living, first of all, you should research. Like, am a professional speaker. I do about 70 gigs a year. So if I need help, which I'm always learning, it's not about the basics, right? So I get the question a lot, Todd, how did you, start in the speaking business? And, it's not like there's like do A, B, C, D, and E. So that's why I'm recording all this. So before, anybody gets sucked in by some AI engine promising, oh, this is going to make it easy and automated, which is bullshit, most of it. And before anybody gets sucked in by spending way too much money for a speaking coach, I just wanted to put these out there really to help. Take them, don't take them, listen to them, don't listen to them, entirely up to you. But here's the other deal. Because I talk about everyone's in sales and everything we do is a selling moment as my core topic, really all of these tips apply to anybody in the business world, period. Like, if you're dealing with another human in the business world, then you need to be listening to these because they all apply. So the first, I think, 4 tips are on my YouTube channel at Sales Culture. And I know you're waiting. You're like, Todd, get to it already. I'll get there in a second. And I put some bonus tips out there. Here's tip number 5, the official tip about how to build a speaking business and, frankly, how to get what you want, need, and deserve. Ready? Drum roll, please. All right, I'm not that good at editing to figure out how to put a drum roll in there. Here we go. You have to be easy to work with. You cannot be a diva, you cannot be difficult, you cannot be a pain in the ass, and you cannot be somebody who's demanding. Get over yourself. Check your ego at the door. Guess what? You are a human delivering a service no different than anybody else out there, and your clients, your customers, your prospects don't want a pain in the ass to deal with. I see speakers who really get way ahead of themselves, right? They think they're all that in a box of cookies because they've had a couple of good speeches or they've just gotten their, first 5-figure, 4-figure gig, whatever it might be, and their ego gets out of control. Their head gets ahead of their, actual capabilities. It reminds me of a line from the movie the first original Top Gun, when the commander of the ship says to the Tom Cruise character, "Son, your ego is writing checks your body can't cash," something like that. In any event, listen, be easy to work with. Now that means a couple of things. One, pay attention, listen more than you speak. Don't make demands. Don't create a situation for the customer where they say, you know what, this guy ain't worth all this aggravation. And for example, when they ask you what your needs are for audio visual or AV, say, hey, listen, here's my preference. Like me, I like to use a lavalier mic because, hey, I talk with my hands. And I don't like holding a mic because years ago I went like this and the mic went flying across the room and thank goodness landed on a table without clunking somebody in the head. So be open about what you want, need, be open about what's reasonable. If someone says, "Do you need anything else?" You say, "Look, whatever it is you can provide, I'll be great with. We're good." Um, you know, uh, just don't make a pain in the ass of yourself. Be easy to deal with. And the best way to do that is to research the organization and understand what their facilities are, what their capabilities are. Have they hired speakers before? Because not everybody's hired a speaker before. So as a result, you know what may happen? They may not know exactly what you need. So be gentle. So there it is. Be easy to work with. Be easy to be somebody that will get hired back. Anyhow, so you want to make sure that you are easy to work with because that will set the tone for whether you get invited back or not. It is not worth being demanding to the point where people say, well, we've already hired the person and they've got to come here. But you know what? We've already made the decision not to work with them again. I get invited back probably 40% of the time, 50% of the time, because A, I know how to sell and I know how to ask for more business. And B, I pride myself on being easy to work with. Make sure you make that a bedrock of who you are and what you do and why you do what you do. If you're not easy to work with, you're going to have a long, hard, painful road being a paid professional speaker. That's it. I'm Todd Cohen, the sales culture architect. Stay tuned. Make sure you hit subscribe, hit notify, hit like on my @SalesCulture YouTube channel, and we'll talk to you soon.